Hey guys, welcome back to Red Box Racing in 4x4. This week, we're back on the Porsche. Alright, so this week we're doing what should be the final piece of prep work before I can take this thing on the track day. And that is brakes. So we're going to do a couple things here. I'm putting in a set of Power Stop brake pads, Z26. And that's what I'm putting on the front. In the rear, I'm doing the Z23s, which are a lower grade. I would have preferred to run the same grade of pad front and rear, but well, they don't make a set of the Z26s that fit the rear. So we're going to do that. I've got a wheel bearing on the rear right hand side. That's probably going to be the bulk of the day, is doing, I have to flush the system out with dot 4. It's probably got dot 3 in it right now. Alright guys, so there's our old brake pads. As you can see, there's not a lot of thickness left there. There's maybe, they're about 1/8 of an inch, 3/16. That's really not a lot. There should be a lot more there, so. So we're going to get all these pistons retracted and get the new pads in there. Alright, so we got the pads out. There's the old ones and here's the new ones. You can see just how low they were. And this little hole here, if you can see it, that's for the pad wear sensor. So we were already into the pad wear sensor's location. So yeah, this needed to happen. It needed to happen now. So in theory, oh yeah, basically just falling right into place. I like it. There we go. We got our, so the Power Stop stuff came with new hardware. It didn't come with the new cross pin, but it did come with the new spring. So. Alright guys, so got the pads on there. That's all good to go. I'm going to start bleeding it for the dot 4. So yeah, I'm just going to, the first one I'm going to pull the fluid out without replacing it in there. Get to about that full, and then hopefully that will be lower. I'll keep an eye on it. There'll be some back and forth because I don't want to pull air in, obviously, but that's how we're going to do this. And we're going to do it under a time lapse. Okay, so I started using the little vacuum pump on here, but my hands are starting to cramp up. So what I did is I took the container for it and I put a tube down into it. And then I would just plug that on there. And the way this works is the tube comes down to right about there. So after 1 or 2 pushes of the pedal, it airlocks. Meaning the level of the fluid in this jug comes up below the bottom of the tube. So that way when you back off the pedal, it doesn't pull air backwards up into the caliper. And so that works and turns this into a very simple one-man brake bleed system. The fluid comes in, goes down, air locks, air comes out. So yeah, that works pretty good. So now we go and do the other side, I guess. Alright guys, so while I had the brake pads off on this corner, before I put the new ones on, I started the car up, put it in gear, got up to 4th gear, and I brought out my stethoscope. I think I got it on video, just to check on the health of this bearing, because I thought the bearing might be going. Turns out, bearing's fine. I put my stethoscope on here and it was damn near silent, so the wheel bearing in this corner is not the problem. I think that noise I was getting before was just pads rubbing. So, which is good. I mean, it means a whole lot less work for me. And I now have a spare wheel bearing, which is also not a bad thing. Alright guys, so here's a set of the power stop pads and here's a set of the original pads. I do believe these are... see, it's hard to tell. Okay, so these are Techstar pads, T4045. But the more important part is you notice these buttons? Well, these fit into the pistons on the caliper, which is great for locating them, but they have one important problem. It means you have to take the caliper off the car to get those out. Now the power stops, they don't have that. And the way these work is there's 2 dowels in there that these ridges ride on. So in theory, you really shouldn't have to worry about your pads needing alignment. You should be able to drop in. But this is the advantage, is now I can go out to the track. I can bring one set of backup pads with me if I roast these ones. And it's not that big a deal for me to hop in here, pop out the old pads, pop a set of new ones in, and off we go, back to the races. To me, that's more important. So, if Techstar pads are all like this, with this little nubbin on there, I don't think I'll be running these. Whatever is the deal with them, these pads are mild out, so they will never go back on the car.
You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Alright, so we got the tire off the front right, and I immediately noticed something. That bump stop is not happy. It'll be fine for now, but yeah, that's gonna need replacing. So that'll mean coilovers, I hope. But first, Gotta measure this rotor. So we're well north of 900. Alright guys, so we have a problem now. Alright, well, I have a problem. Now, I'm all for being cavalier about some things and just, you know, sanding it. But, two issues here. These rotors don't make spec. And the pads that were on here were undersized. I don't know. They look suspiciously like the pads for the back. The power stop pads I got are quite a bit bigger. They also have a nice stainless shim on the back, which will help a little bit with heat getting into the caliper. But when you put that in there, this ridge on the inside, it would bear on that. So at this point, it doesn't make sense for me to continue. I think I'm better off putting these pads back in the box, putting those ones back on there just so the caliper doesn't overextend, and unfortunately I think waiting and ordering a set of front rotors is what I'm gonna have to do. Alright guys, so it's been about 2 weeks since I started doing the brakes. As you saw, I had to stop because the front rotors were too thin. So I've got some new ones. They're made by Dynamic Friction. They're high carbon, cross drilled, geomet coated. And unlike some of them, these ones actually are, the vanes are the same as the way Porsche did, where you have to get a left rotor and a right rotor. They are not cast the same, because that is more efficient. So we're gonna get these on there, get the fronts bled. So that's an impact driver. It's a screwdriver you hit with a hammer, and when you hit it, it twists. For this kind of job where you're taking set screws out of brake rotors, it is the best tool because it won't strip the screws, which you see a lot. Thank you everyone for watching. I don't have a test video yet. That's coming very soon. Tomorrow I'm pulling the car out of the shop. I can't test the brakes while the car's in the garage, obviously. So if you've made it to the end, thank you very much for watching. Here's some bonus footage that I really didn't know what to do with. It's cutting up a 1965 MGB that I've been keeping for parts, but I have everything I need off it now, and the rest of the frame is too rusty to rescue. Thanks for watching.